In these terrible and dark times, we need to make sure that we don't assume that just because something is happening and it's happening really fast and it's happening worse than we thought it would, that means that it's popular, okay? And here's an example of how people can go wrong on that.
Unfortunately, Democrats are only focused on one thing right now, Mr. Musk. The fact of the matter, he's quite popular. He has the largest platform in human history, which is, of course, Twitter/X. And I think we're missing the boat as Democrats. And all I'm saying is that sometimes it's better to join them and actually play a role in how the strategy works rather than so pathetically, frankly, try to combat something that clearly is a steamroller and Democrats are being steamrolled. I don't want to cross my fingers. I think Democrats should join the club and then have more credibility to actually raise the alarm about constitutional issues. Right now, it's the boy who cried wolf.
I've had a positive conversation or two with Dean Phillips, but I cannot conceive with my limited vocabulary how utterly wrong I think he is about every syllable that emitted itself from the front of his head. He's popular, he has a big platform. He bought the platform. He wasn't voted the new head of Twitter on America's next top platform. It wasn't a Democratic thing. He's rich and he bought it. People didn't want him to. They fled the platform because of that. And in a general sense, no, he is not popular. Dear God, please Google a poll. Now, I know he wants you to believe that he is. He's got a tweet out right now with Sydney Sweeney's face on it for some reason. So Miss Sweeney, please don't check your DMs because I know Elon Musk is trying to have his 15th kid with you right now. And it says something about how you'd be fine with him doing all these cuts because you're not part of the parasite class. That's the literal quote in that. So, disabled people and everything who are gonna lose out on these benefits are the parasite class, according to the world's richest man. And he says, here's why 90% of Americans love Doge. No, not even remotely close, dear God. And we have the actual polls to show it. So again, when you ask people the gap between how much influence you think Elon Musk has over Donald Trump and how much you want him to have. So look, obviously nobody's shocked that like only 7% of Democrats want him to have a lot of influence. 35% of Republicans want him to have a lot of influence. That's only 1 in 3 of people who want Donald Trump to be in office. So they're already long gone mentally in a lot of ways. Only 1 in 3 of them even want him to be nearly as influential as he is. And importantly, when you look at independents, they look way more like Democrats than they do like Republicans in this. Only 12% of independents want him to have a lot of influence over what's going on right now. So look, if you cut out the partisans, the Democrats or Republicans, 90% of America supports Doge. No, 12% of independents want you to have the sort of influence that you have right now. And by the way, his unfavorable numbers, we gave you an update like a week or two ago about how much they've dropped since the election. They're dropping in huge numbers just in a week. He lost 7 percentage points of favorability in just the past week. Just the past week. Now, maybe some of that is, Nazi, hand signals as opposed to Doge, but he's at 36% approval rating. He's like Mitch McConnell or something. So forget me with the 90% thing. And you can see, by the way, if we want to talk about Doge, you can give me your thoughts. We'll leave this up for a little bit. Here is the favorability of different federal bodies. The vast majority are far more, like you look at that, Doge is at the bottom of that. The US adult citizens in terms of the approval rating. Most of these are way more popular than Doge is for obvious reasons. Francesca, what do you make of that?
First of all, Doggy is not an actual government agency. Let's just name that again. But give it time. I'm sure at some point it's gonna do something good for 2 people. Dean Phillips needs to resign. That's just all I have to say about that. Like, there is no way that you can be not only a Democrat, but a Democrat doing a national television hit, a Democrat who's the co-chair of the communications committee of the Democratic Party. And this is what you're saying? We need to go with them on this and then see if they'll give us a seat at the kids' table so we can be like, oh, please, sir, don't cut Medicaid to the tune of 800 billion. Like, This is insane to me. These Democrats need to resign, get out the way. I had some respect for Dean for actually trying to primary Joe Biden, but now I realize that if he primaried him, he would have just been some worse version, some sort of like, we need to meet him in the some Manchin, Joe Manchin kind of like, incarnation. This is pathetic. That is awful, and it does not matter. Like, John, Trump's popular. Like it's undeniable that Trump is popular. So what does that mean? Trump also is an accused rapist. Like, Trump also sicked a mob on the Capitol and tried to overturn the January 6th or do it on January 6th to overturn the election. He's been impeached twice. Okay, he's been strong-arming governments around the world. He's turned into a mob boss, but he's popular. So this is the thing with like, you're misunderstanding popularity. Meanwhile, last thing I'll say is there's popular things in the Democratic Party. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is popular. Representative Ilhan Omar is popular. Bernie Sanders is popular. So what about that? The most popular politician, I believe, what is it? Bernie #1, AOC #2. Democrats cannot tell a good thing when it literally hits them in the effing face, and they will never, ever stop fighting the progressives. I think it's time to give up this fight and to say bye, Dean. Like, you guys, we need to go our own way. That's my opinion.
I mean, I certainly was calling for that for Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and also, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but I said, I think it's time for a group of these incredibly popular Democrats to stage a coup inside of the Democratic Party. A political one, obviously, and just designate themselves for the good of America, for the good of the party, because we're never gonna be allowed into leadership. We are taking that mantle. And they should do that. They should 100% do that. And if you wanna come on the show and announce it, feel free. I'll bring you on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway.
And not only that, we'll support you. Like, I don't know how to get this message across. The people will support you, and not just like weirdo lefties like myself, or very normal nerdy lefties like John. But I think
normal hot lefties like me. You have a wide variety of constituencies.
Super hot, strong. Yeah, but like so many other libs will support you. Liberals will support you writ large. I'm telling 100%. You.
They want to see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't see at least they're fighting back mantle to only like the Newsoms or whatever. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.